Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about my magic find build attempt. I never did a proper magic finding build. In my last video at the very end I mentioned that I found this Cloak of Tawm'r Isley, not sure how to pronounce that, and it surprised me that it was very expensive. Turns out the cheapest one is 27 exalts, not even linked. And okay, first maybe the reason why this is expensive. It's basically the last line. Found magic items drop identified. When items drop identified, they can be seen by loot filter and filtered out by their modifiers. If items are unidentified, they're just gonna be hidden because it's just magic item, who cares. But if they are identified and it's like +1 to all spell skill gems, it's gonna be worth something. For example, this find is worth like 50 chaos, I believe the last time I checked, around 50 chaos, because people want to use these kind of modifiers and recombine into more powerful items. The other stuff like +1 to all spell, +1 to like specific cold, fire, stuff like that is very cheap. The amulets with +1 to all skill gems can be over 2 exalts, so those can be sold a lot more. And just +1 to fire is pretty much 5 years, like worth nothing. The weapons with like +1 to cold are worth little because there is a vendor recipe. So this is why this cloak is expensive. And you can check Baller Mage, he's doing like a proper build with the Headhunter and all the other crazy things. But I wanted to see if I can do this on a budget, and if he's making like 200 to 500 hairs per map with the magic finding build, I wanted to see, I just wanted a sample of the build at a lower tier. You know what I mean? Instead of finding 200 to 500 hairs per map, I wanted to see if I can make like 20 hairs per map, you know? So I wanted to go with a bit of budget build because like I don't have that much currency to invest to begin with, so I wanted to see if I can even do it at the lower tier, and would I even like it, because magic finding builds usually have low HP, we don't have defenses, we just try to kill enemies before we even hit them and clear the whole screen instantly. I wasn't sure what to play. I also didn't really want to play like Tornado Shot because I just can't play what I don't like. I wanted to try something that I haven't played in a while, which is Spectral Shield Throw. And it scales pretty well. All you need is a good shield and then some passive points, and you can scale pretty far. Now I'm gonna mention what kind of build I did and how much juice I added to my maps. And too long didn't read, it was not worth it for me at all. I made like 70 chaos profit. I reached level 88 and I only made 70 chaos out of maps. So for me it wasn't worth it. But I know that people gonna disagree and say that I didn't do this, I didn't do that. But my argument is that if you don't fully juice up, if you don't fully commit to this kind of playstyle, if you don't fully use all the delirium stuff, all the sextant, all the scarabs, you're not really gonna get much out of this. And you already need quite a bit of investment, let's say, I don't know, 10 exalts plus, maybe even a lot more if you want Headhunter. Obviously, if you want good weapon, you're gonna want a lot more. Some quantity items can also be quite expensive, so you already need quite a decent investment to even begin farming. And if you're only gonna be farming like +1 weapons, like spell damage weapons or +1 amulets, it's really gonna require a lot of juice in maps to make it worth it. And you also need to set up your sentinels properly. You need certain sentinels, so you're gonna have to buy a bunch of stuff to prepare. And buy new maps, buy new scarabs, buy other sentinels. So there's a lot of setting up to make this work. And that's why I think if you just want to test this out, it's not really worth it in my opinion. Baller would say that it's worth it even if it was 100 exalts, but that's only if you committed to one build and you like the playstyle and you juice up the maps properly, then I guess it is worth it. But if you only focus on getting +1 items, I'm not sure if it is actually even worth it. Obviously gonna find other things like I guess scarabs, or I don't even know what else you find. Just in general get more quantity, then it's probably gonna be worth it. So currently I have 39% quantity, which isn't that great. I have the talisman with the implicit quantity, I have the Pariah, and I have the boots essentially. I do not have rarity. Another thing is, I don't know, is it statistically better to have rarity or to lower rarity? Because if you have increased rarity, you're gonna upgrade more white items into magic items, but you're also gonna upgrade magic items into rare items, and rare items will not drop identified, and you want magic items the most. Or is it better to lower rarity and downgrade rare items into magic items? I don't know about that. This is just like a theory, and people could just figure out by running a bunch of maps and doing their own testings, I guess. So my approach was pretty budget-like. If you don't count the body armor, I spent probably below 5 exalts on this build, maybe somewhere around 5 exalts. I am running 1 Inspire Landing, the Watcher Cypher for the conversion, and then 1 large cluster jewel, 2 medium for the damage, and that's it basically. The some quantity items can be expensive, like Pariah with white socket is like almost 1 exalt. I think I just paid 1 exalt. The amulet also paid 1 exalt. The boots, it's actually hard to get like good quantity non-corrupted, so that can also be probably a bit expensive. Or actually maybe it wasn't, I don't remember for boots. The shield, since it's a spectral shield throw, it doesn't really matter, it's not expensive. And the damage wasn't really an issue. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about how much juice I added. Maybe I should have done that sooner, but my Atlas strategy, I adjusted it slightly bit. I didn't fully commit, like I said. I added some Beast nodes, I added some Breach nodes. Okay, I didn't add Breach nodes. I was checking it out, but I guess I did not add Breach nodes yet. And I did spec into more like generic quantity. This one adds extra 10 quantity when you use Fortune Favors the Brave, which is this one. So I was also running this, so I was paying 3 heals per map extra. Good thing I didn't need to pay $25 per map. And also was running Breach Scarab, a Beast Scarab, and a Harbinger Scarab. And I was doing Alva from time to time. Initially was using 2 Void Stones with a couple of sections to add more monsters in general, but later I dropped that. I wasn't running Delirium map. Later I did try 1 Delirium map, did not get a single +1 item, and I wasn't always running Sextants. So it wasn't used up all the time, but like I was using some, and these are all the items that I got. So these are basically 1 Chaos items. This is like 50 Chaos, and this is 5 Chaos item. So essentially I made like 60-70 Chaos profit. That's all I got. I didn't get anything. Well, I had to figure out how much other stuff I found, like extra currency drops. I did not include the extra currency. I just wanted to see how many +1 items I would find. So you need to do level 75 plus to start finding +1 amulets. But you're only gonna make money if you find +1 to all skill gems amulet, which is 2x and more. For the vines, same thing. You're only gonna make currency. Well, for the vines you don't need item level 75. They start dropping sooner. But yeah, like in general, in my opinion, it's not really worth if you just want to maybe farm +1 items. If you just want to do that, there is a Sextant mod which I believe drops all items are corrupted. All dropped items are corrupted. If the item is corrupted, it's gonna be identified, and you don't need the body armor then. Again, in my opinion, I did not like this kind of playstyle. I did not think that it's worth it. I thought that I would be finding these items at least once per map, but it was more like I found 1 random +1 item every third map. So it's like not exciting at all, and it's, oh wow, I found 1 Hero's item finally, ooh, gonna add it to my collection. Yeah, did not feel satisfying, did not feel worth it, and I would just rather run a normal build and then just farm money through other means. So I know that some people are gonna disagree and say, oh, but you didn't do that and that. I don't care. If you cannot even make 10 heals profit per map, then you focus on map finding, and then you juice up with free scarabs, sextant, and extra monsters from like Alva and all the other things from the Atlas passives. You cannot even make 10 heals, then I don't know. How much more do you need to juice up to go from like below 10 heals to 1 exalt plus? That doesn't compute. So anyway, that's my short rant. This is my experience, and yeah, I do have a next build, and the next build I'm gonna sell this body armor. And I'm doing a word loop build, but it's gonna be using raging spirits instead of having damage. I'm gonna be summoning more spirits, which probably gonna not really work that well. But maybe if it doesn't work completely, then I'll just redo the build into more normal and just do word looping. But the word looping is so expensive. Just looking at items makes me lose currency. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.